This is the AHSAA Weekly. I'm John Holder. This is your weekly look at everything going on with the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Coming up on this week's show, we'll visit with Director of Communications for the Alabama High School Athletic Association, Ron Ingram, as we look ahead to the fall playoffs in all of the sports of football, volleyball, cross country, and swimming and diving. Also coming up this week, we'll have our Central Board Spotlight. Pamela Holloway representing District 4 from Dadeville High School in Tallapoosa County. Also this week, we'll look ahead to this week's AHSAA Game of the Week here on WOTM. We'll visit with the head coaches from Fayette County and Gordo. Fayette County's Walden Tucker and also Gordo's Ryan Lawley. And we'll have highlights from some of last week's big high school football games from around the state of Alabama. All of that and more on this week's AHSAA Weekly.
If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
We are back on the AHSAA Weekly, taking you to the Alabama High School Athletic Association offices in Montgomery. We are pleased to be joined this week by the Director of Communications for the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Ron Ingram joins us again. Ron, glad to have you with us on this week's show.
Thank you, John. Real glad to be here.
Ron, we're heading into week 8. Believe it or not, it goes by faster as I get older, I think, the high school football season. And we're in week 8 of the season. Tell us from your perspective, how do you think the high school football season has gone so far?
I think you told it, you summed it up pretty well, John. We're in week 8. And when we're looking at this back in June, back in May, week 1 was the thing we're most concerned with. And now we're in week 8, which is really week 9 because of 0 week. And we're just 3 weeks away from starting the state playoffs. It's been a remarkable year, but boy, has it been a strange year. Approximately 95% of our scheduled games, though, have been played. A lot of folks may not realize that, but 95%, 98 of our schools are still participating. And just last week, though, we had 137 games moved from Friday to Thursday because of Hurricane Delta, and we're still making up games that were, rained out by Hurricane Sally. Fairhope and Davidson is planning to play October 19, and that'll catch us up.
Well, obviously, we've had not only games being switched around, or if not outright canceled because of the coronavirus, and not one but 2 hurricanes that have come into the Gulf Coast that have switched games around. It's been a unique year. You mentioned playoffs, and of course, it's my favorite time of year, I think, in all of high school athletics is the high school football playoffs in Alabama. It's such a big deal, especially in this state. And I know a lot of folks now are starting to think about playoffs. Region races are in the heat of that right now. Tell us about playoffs. That's going to go off as planned, it looks like.
Right, and we're following the same standard that we always use, where the top 4 teams in each region will qualify for the state playoffs. And, moving forward, too, you wonder what would happen if a team in the playoffs happens to, have to go into quarantine. And then our championship play kicks in. Our championship play policy clicks in, and that means that if a school, once they're in the playoffs, can't play for whatever reason, when the game rolls around, then it becomes a forfeit. Just like it's been in the regular season, and we move on with or without the school, without the school that was not able to play. But the biggest thing too is just starting off. You've been down here before. We have coaches meetings starting this year. The first Saturday will be October 31st. We'll bring in 208 head coaches. But instead of having the meeting in our office, we're going to be meeting at Garrett Coliseum so we can, socially distance and make sure everybody stays as healthy and safe as possible. We hope to have WOTM, broadcasting, live streaming and broadcasting those meetings like they did last year. And another big thing is that all playoff tickets will be sold digitally through GoFan online, and there's going to be stadium limitations set by, recommended by the State Department of Health, and so there will be limited tickets available. So schools are going to have their opportunity to have their own private time for private purchase of time for so many tickets, and then both schools will, and then after a few days, then it will be opened up for the general public. But once those tickets are sold, then there won't be any other tickets allowed in.
And Ron, we've already started the volleyball playoffs. Area tournaments began this week. We've got that already in place. Tell us about some of the key changes going on with the volleyball playoffs as we move through that in the next month or so.
Right. Right. This is our first, venture into the state playoffs under this new COVID-19 pandemic situation. And volleyball, we've talked a lot about football, and volleyball's had its challenges with the pandemic as well. As we move forward, one of the things that has been done is, instead of having a super regional tournament after area play where the first and second place teams in the area advance, we've gone back to the old format of a sub-regional round where an area winner will play an area runner-up from another area, and that will happen this Thursday and Friday for our schools. Area tournaments were moved up to today and tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, and then on Thursday, we'll have a sub-regional round for 4 classes, and then on Friday, we'll have sub-regional round for 3 classes. Then we're going to move to the super regional. The next week, we'll be in Huntsville for the North Regional at the Von Braun Center, and then we're going to be moving from the multiplex to the Garrett Coliseum for the South Super Regional. And we're going to be over, instead of it being a 2-day event, it's going to be over 3 days, so that we can allow more fans to come in and see their teams and then go home and keep the have more fans to be able to come see it. And then we'll also spread out the championships, and it gives us a chance to keep the social distancing and all the special items that we have to do to follow the protocols of the State Department of Health in place.
And Ron, we're not only going to crown state champions in football and volleyball during the fall, we also, in the fall semester, if you will, we also crown state champions in cross country and swimming. Tell us about those sports.
Well, cross country is one that's I want to talk about, because earlier in the year we had 2 runners that broke our state cross country record. They ran almost under 15 minutes, and they both one finished first, one finished second in the race. And of course, they've moved forward. But our cross country folks have really worked hard to balance what they do running with all that numbers of people running with the COVID-19 virus. And so Stanley Johnson, who is the coach at Lawrence County, he coordinates our state tournament, our state meet at the Jesse Owens track there at the Oakville Indian Mounds State Park near Moulton. And so what will happen is that the attendance of people attending, what they've been doing all season is they will stay in their cars until it comes time for their child's race. They get out of their cars, they watch the race, and then they get back in. There's a lot of other things. They've widened the start line, and they've made it where nobody has to be within 6 feet. Worked really, really hard to meet the standards that the State Department of Public Health has set forward, and it's been really a positive thing. Our cross country has really been going on strong. One of the things that we'll be doing as we move into the state meet, which will be coming up in early November, is I think they're going straight from the section straight from the regular season to the playoffs. Swimming and diving, I know, is cutting out the sections as well.
And of course, with this football season already in full swing, 8 weeks already completed, really coming up on 9. We always have, every season brings just unbelievable things. We go one season and we think it can't be topped the next season, and then some crazy, unbelievable, memorable, all-time things happen each and every year. That's been the case this year across the state of Alabama already in high school football. What are some of the memories already that's been created out of this season so far?
I know you're a sports historian, high school sports historian, and so am I, John. I'd never heard of a school having safeties in 4 straight games, but Auburn High School started the season recording at least 1 safety in 4 straight games, and they had 2 in one of those games. Then we had the wild finish of Wetumpka and Hillcrest of Tuscaloosa, where Wetumpka kicked what they thought was the winning field goal with 14 seconds left, and then with only 2 seconds left, Hillcrest ran a play that took 59 seconds to complete, pitching around the old Boise State play, and they scored a touchdown that really drew national attention, and even had Tom Brady talking about it, saying this is why we play sports. But then this past week, when I thought I'd heard of everything, North Jackson played Randolph, and North Jackson recovered in that contest 4 onside kicks. They won the game 43-24. Now, I've seen 2 games in my lifetime where they had 3 onside kicks successful, but the 4th one was not successful, and the teams that had the 3 lost each time. That was Homewood versus Mountain Brook, I believe, in 1986, and then midfield against Dora in the playoffs in a really wild game, 33-28, somewhere in the late 80s. But forced North Jackson coach Chandler Tygard. His philosophy on this particular team is to onside kick on every kickoff. His kicker is a foreign exchange student from Spain, and he doesn't have a deep kick, and he's looked at the data, and he sees that he's not giving up that much, whether he onside kicks it or kicks it deep, and there's only about a 10 or 12-yard swing on it, and if he gets it, he has a chance to keep the ball. But 4 times last week they recovered onside kicks. They've recovered 9 already in 6 games this year. That beats all.
Pretty amazing. Ron, thank you so much for some great information there. A lot of information for all of our fall sports fans as we head into the state playoffs and all those 4 different sports. Thank you so much for the time and being with us this week on the AHSAA Weekly.
Appreciate it, John, and appreciate all y'all do for us at WOTM and for our television show. Thank you.
Ron Ingram, the Director of Communications for the Alabama High School Athletic Association, with us this week on the AHSAA Weekly.
If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Back on the AHSAA Weekly, coming up Thursday night here on WOTM, it is the AHSAA statewide game of the week. We've been south, we've been north, we've been east, and now we're taking you to West Alabama, and we've got a dandy game coming up. Rivals for many, many years, Fayette County and Gordo, a great West Alabama game coming up. And we're going to talk with the head coach of the Gordo Green Wave at this time, Coach Ryan Wally. Coach Wally, glad to have you with us on this week's edition of the AHSAA Weekly.
Hey, I appreciate the opportunity and appreciate what y'all are doing for our sport.
Coach, let's talk about the game coming up. I talked with earlier, we had a chance to just kind of run down this game, and there's just so many storylines to this, but I think the biggest storyline is these are 2 towns that love football, and these are 2 tradition-rich, storied programs, and when they play each other, that makes for great high school football. Just your thoughts on the Fayette County-Gordo rivalry through the years.
Well, you know, there's a lot of respect between both schools, I feel like, each year that we play. You know, everybody gets after it. It's, you know, it's a physical game. There's a lot of, you know, great players in the game, and you know, the atmosphere is always really great. You know, the fans of both communities really come out and support their teams, and you know, it's been a great opportunity for me. I've been involved in it for 19 years here, you know, 11 years as an assistant, and then, you know, the last 8 as a head coach. So I've seen a lot of great Fayette football teams, seen a lot of great Gordo football teams, and you know, it's really what high school football here in Alabama is all about. Games like these right here, and it's, you know, it's a great opportunity for both teams and you know, both communities. So we're just glad we're getting to do it and glad we're getting to play.
You've had no problem moving up from Class 3A to 4A, one of the top 10 teams in the state, ranked number 4 in the last ASWA poll. Just tell us about what you see in this matchup coming up with Fayette County. I think there's only maybe the 3rd or 4th time that you played each other as a region game through the years.
Yes, sir. We've been 3A for a long time, and then 2A before that. So this is our first stint in 4A, and so we've usually we used to play Fayette late in the year, then here, you know, last 10 years or so, we've been playing them, you know, the first game of the year. So it's always a big game. You know, what I expect out of the game is the same as always. I think there'll be a lot of big plays in the game. I think both teams will play really hard, and you know, probably gonna come down to the end of the game to see who wins it. And we're just, you know, we got a tremendous amount of respect for them, and you know, certainly a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Tucker for, you know, the career that he's had, and you know, the people that he's impacted. I know in our community alone, you know, he's a hero here. You know, he's a legend, and there in Fayette as well, and all over the state of Alabama. You know, what he's been able to do and accomplish as a coach is, you know, just have a tremendous amount of respect for that. But you know, what Fayette's been able to do and the things that they've done throughout the years is just remarkable. You know, so. And we got a tremendous amount of respect for them, and you know, we're excited to be getting to have the opportunity to play the game.
Coach Wally, thank you for spending time with us this week. We will see you Thursday night for a statewide audience here on the AHSAA Game of the Week on WOTM. Good luck to your team on Thursday night.
Hey, thank you.
Ryan Wally, head coach of the Gordo Green Wave, getting ready for the AHSAA Game of the Week with Fayette County coming up Thursday night here on WOTM. We are back on the AHSAA Weekly. Coming up on WOTM this Thursday night, we continue with our AHSAA statewide game of the week, and it is going to be a dandy from West Alabama. A huge game coming up between Fayette County and Gordo at John Morgan Brown Stadium in Fayette. And we are very pleased to have one of the legendary all-time coaches in Alabama high school football history, the head coach of the Fayette County Tigers, Coach Walden Tucker, with us. Coach, glad to have you with us on the AHSAA Weekly.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here, John.
Coach, a big game coming up, and we'll dive right in and talk about that right off the bat. For folks in West Alabama, they know how big this game is and what a big rivalry this is. But for folks that maybe are outside of West Alabama, tuning in and watching us around the state, just tell folks about Fayette County and Gordo through the years.
Well, I was able to coach at Gordo for 5 or 6 years and had a little success, and then I was able to come up here at Fayette, and we've had a little success, and it's just always been a big rivalry. Both ball clubs has always had good football teams, and it's a big rivalry. People down there take the football serious. People in Fayette take the football serious. They got a heck of a football team. They got 2 or 3 Division I prospects, I think. And the little quarterback they got playing now is a heck of a little athlete. My grandson played baseball with him, and we know him real well, and they're a well-oiled machine. And we're down a little bit this year. We're playing a lot of young kids, 9th and 10th graders, and of course we're starting a second-team quarterback. Our first-team quarterback has got a concussion. I don't think he'll be able to play Friday night, but it's fun getting ready for good football teams. That makes it worthwhile, and hopefully we'll be ready to make some kind of a game out of it. Gordo's got a great football team.
Coach, you came out of retirement this year to take back over the reins at Fayette County. Boy, you picked quite a year to come back and start coaching football again. You are a veteran of coaches we have in this state. Have you ever seen anything like what is going on with this coronavirus and how it's affecting high school athletics this year?
It has. It's affected it a good bit. But we've been real careful with it. We don't go to the weight room. We've got a nice indoor facility here, and we hadn't been to the weight room all summer. And that may have hurt us a little bit. I don't know. And we didn't get in our dressing room till the 2nd or 3rd week of August. We try to keep it sprayed down before and after practice. Our kids wear their mask in there, and we've been fortunate so far. Our administration here, they pride themselves on safety, and it's worked out for us. Thank God we're able to play.
Well, Coach, we're looking forward to showcasing your football team and really the 2 towns, great football towns in Gordo and Fayette, to our statewide audience coming up this Thursday night on our AHSAA Game of the Week here on WOTM. Thank you for spending a few moments with us, and we will see you coming up Thursday night from Fayette.
Thank you very much.
Walden Tucker, legendary head football coach of the Fayette County Tigers, counting down to kickoff Thursday night here on WOTM, that big game in West Alabama between Fayette County and Gordo. We'll return with more of the AHSAA Weekly in just a moment.
If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
We welcome you back to this week's AHSAA Weekly. Time for our Central Board Spotlight. This week it's Pamela Holloway. She is the Vice Principal at Dadeville High School in Tallapoosa County, also the District 4 Rep. Here's our Central Board Spotlight.
Pamela Holloway has dedicated her professional life to Dadeville's children. After starring as a point guard in high school and enjoying a record-breaking college basketball career at Auburn Montgomery, she returned to her hometown and alma mater as a teacher and coach in the late 1990s. She's never left and has dedicated herself to the students and communities she loves.
I would say my management and coaching style will be one of teamwork and sharing responsibility and making sure that that I lead by example. Also being of my word and teaching the student athletes and those that I work with daily to be impeccable with your word and make sure you keep your word and build character and try to teach life lessons daily.
Holloway now serves as the school's assistant principal and continues to lead the girls' basketball program. After more than 20 years at the school, her unique blend of optimism and hard work has influenced countless lives. She's also a member of the AHSAA Central Board of Control, another avenue she uses to make a positive influence on the lives of young people.
My Central Board experience has been a remarkable experience. I've had the best opportunities provided, even more so than I have throughout my career as an administrator and coach. And I really appreciate that all of the individuals that I've been able to be on a team with and work with and make tough decisions, and even those decisions that may not seem so tough, just being able to work together and all of us coming together from many different backgrounds for one common purpose, for the student athletes and our member schools. And it has just been, I'm so grateful for being able to work with the Athletic Association staff, from Mr. Salvarez on down. Everyone has been truly remarkable and helpful.
This week, we're going to take you to around the state to 3 different games played on 3 different days for highlights around the state. And we will begin with the big matchup in Class 7A Region 3 from Hoover. Crosstown rivals Hoover and Spain Park. This is Spain Park's outstanding quarterback, Bennett Meredith, finding Jalen Ward. Look at this one-handed catch over on the Spain Park sidelines. As we look at a replay, down the sidelines, heavily defended. One hand up in the air, makes the grab, falls out of bounds, keeps his balance, both feet in bounds, and a nice snag by Jalen Ward from Bennett Meredith right over there on the sideline. But then Hoover comes right back. This is their outstanding quarterback, Josh Lundy, finding number 1, Malik Thomas, as he goes into the end zone, weaving his way through the Spain Park defenders for a Hoover touchdown. 2 outstanding quarterbacks in this game, Lundy from Hoover and also Bennett Meredith from Spain Park, and 2 outstanding number 1s, Jalen Ward from Spain Park and Malik Thomas from Hoover. And then we're going to see, he took a big lick there at the end as well from the Spain Park defense, but finds a receiver right in the middle of 3 defenders from Spain Park and able to take it into the end zone for the final 20 yards and a touchdown for the Hoover Buccaneers in this big rival game. But then we go back to Spain Park, another outstanding play, and again, this is going to be Bennett Meredith finding Jalen Ward in the end zone for another touchdown in traffic. Big number 1 taking it right there in the end zone for the touchdown, the back of the end zone, all kind of orange jerseys in the area right there. 2 outstanding throws and receptions by Spain Park from Bennett Meredith to Jalen Ward. Here's Meredith, plenty of time to throw. All kind of orange jerseys there. Defender goes up from Hoover trying to knock it away, misses. Great concentration there by number 1, Jalen Ward, as he brings it in. We'll see another look at this outstanding throw right on target once again, right into the heart of that Hoover defense. A nice throw and catch. Nice reception to the back of the end zone for the touchdown by their outstanding receiver from Spain Park, Jalen Ward, on a great throw from Bennett Meredith. As we take a look at that one more time, as he runs a great route and takes it in for the touchdown. Now we're going to bring you into Legion Stadium in Sylacauga. This is Fayetteville and B.B. Comer. This is going to be B.B. Comer's Devontae Carmichael breaking tackles and then walking his way into the end zone through the Fayetteville Wolves defense for a 40-yard touchdown run. B.B. Comer, a big win over Fayetteville. We'll take a look at the turf here at Legion Stadium in Sylacauga. Takes the direct snap in all kinds of traffic. Spin move, breaks 2 tackles, 3 tackles, 4 tackles, and spins away from that last tackle and then makes his way through white jerseys into the end zone. An outstanding touchdown run by Devontae Carmichael. That was another Friday night battle. Let's take you now to Saturday morning at the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery. And this is going to be Kevin Lilly with a touchdown reception from Reginald Davis. Outstanding touchdown reception right there. As that's going to be Kevin Lilly with a great reception right there into the end zone for the touchdown. Reginald Davis from Kevin Lilly. Look at that great throw into the end zone. Kind of hung up there for a while. The defender from Lee fell down, but Opelika able to bring it back in, kind of juggled it at the end. Great reception over there by Reginald Davis, taking it into the end zone. Look at that, juggled the ball, kept his concentration. It was a wet field, rained all during the game down at the Crampton Bowl, so great concentration there by Reginald Davis for the score. Now we're going to see on the run here. This is going to be number 37 with the run here, Eric Watts. This is a 61-yard touchdown run by Eric Watts of Opelika on the opposite end of the field, and he takes it in for a touchdown onto the south end of this end zone stadium at the Crampton Bowl. Again, nice fake by the quarterback, then takes it around the end, picks up a couple of nice blocks, and then he's off to the races into the end zone for the touchdown. Eric Watts, a 61-yard touchdown run for the Opelika Bulldogs in the rain on the turf down at the Crampton Bowl. Then we take you to Thursday night out to Gurley, Tiger Stadium, Madison County and Madison Academy. This is big number 19, Avery Seaton, working his way through the defense there for the Madison Academy Mustangs, the visiting team in this game. We'll see one more time. Seaton fakes the handoff, takes it himself right into the heart of that Madison County defense. And then it looks like he was going to outrun the Madison County defense, but they kept up a shoestring tackle at the last minute to bring him down at the 12-yard line. And then we're going to see, again, right here, this is William Stokes of Madison Academy, taking it right up the gut for a short touchdown run. Another touchdown from Madison Academy as Madison Academy went on to win that big region game, clinching the Class 40 Region 7 title with that win over their rivals from Madison County out at Gurley. You saw that game Thursday night in the AHSAA Game of the Week here on WOTM. And finally, we go back to Saturday morning to the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery. Opelika and Leah Montgomery once again. And this is number 33, Kevin Lilly. Recovers the fumble, comes to the sideline, gets some instructions from the coaching staff over at Opelika, but then watch what he does here. Goes over behind the bench, and you see this at the college level and the pro level. You're going to see coming up in just a moment after another replay. You see the weather was a big factor in this game as he just dropped the snap. You can see the rainfall there, the wet field. And there it is. Not only for Opelika do they have a turnover chain. Everyone's got, it seems like, a turnover chain, but watch this. He puts on, going old school Road Warrior, Legion of Doom, Animal and Hawk right there as he puts on not only the turnover chain, but the turnover shoulder pads as well. That's going to wrap up this week's edition of the AHSAA Weekly. As we take you to break right now, we're going to join the voice of the Opelika Bulldogs. This is going to be Van Riggs from 97.7, the kicker in Opelika, with some highlights, further highlights from that Opelika-Leah Montgomery game.
First down and 10 for the Bulldogs from the 41-yard line. Finley drops back. He's going to take a shot downfield, and it's got Connor, and he catches at the 20. Connor inside the 10, 5, touchdown Bulldogs! Out of the shotgun is Finley. Finley hands it off to Watts. Watts has a first down. He's down the sidelines across midfield. Watts in the clear. 20, 10, 5, touchdown Bulldogs! Aaron Watts to the house. Dogs up 12-zip on Robert E. Lee. First down and goal from the 1. Finley tried to set up a throwback, throws it into the end zone in traffic, and it is caught. Touchdown Bulldogs in traffic. That's Will Beams, went up top and got it in the back of the end zone.